So what I've decided to do is center this around logo, like a logo, essentially. Okay, a logo or an icon. Now, what I could have done, let's go back to the start, is there's a lot of CSS in this, it's a lot of website stuff. Okay, that's kind of the key to it. But what I wanted to do as well was bring back this design stuff, okay? The thumbnail sketching and the refining of ideas, because that's, I think, out of the whole time, that's the weakest link out of everyone at the moment is doing this process, okay? And doing it really, really, really well. So what I'm doing here is you're designing a website. So the brief here is, all right, you're a freelance designer and you've been chosen to design a new icon / logo, okay? So by icon, I'm literally meaning like an icon, like for an iPad, okay? Or I've spread it out to logo in case that's where you want to go as well, because I was thinking, you might want to do mount players, or you might want to incorporate something like that. So I thought, well, we can do logo too. It's irrelevant though. All right. Now this is from an iconic product. I was pausing for laughter because yeah, and it's like the first time that this company's ever changed this image. Like, this is huge. This is big news. You guys weren't around, as in you weren't born, when like Telstra changed their logo. Okay, so originally Telstra was, a circle, orange circle with a little T thingy. I'll put the image up when I put this on the web. That changed to what it is now, which is that kind of oval with a T. It's very similar. That cost millions, like millions and millions of dollars to change that, and people were cracking it. They're like, "What? That's nothing." And they were cracking it because they paid for it, because Telstra was a government company then, so we paid for that with our taxes, right? And it was really, really simple. But yeah, it cost a fortune and it was a simple change. But nobody saw this. Nobody saw all this stuff. Like they went through hundreds of icons. All right? So this is what we're doing. Now this is another two-parter. So did anyone tap that?
I tapped there.
Hey, look at that. Look at that. Sorry. No, that's all right. So this is the two-parter. All right? So this is explore and apply creative design process to 2D forms. That's the big one, okay? And that is this icon stuff, all right? And then the second one is author interactive sequences, and that, my friends, is Dreamweaver, okay? That's your website stuff. So we'll fly across here. So here's the technical specs, all right? So this is kind of what we need to see. Again, this is a very visual book. You'll be seeing icons in your face everywhere, all right? So obviously you're going to unveil your product. This is what your website is for. Now, again, I was looking at this and like, oh, you could do a website for yourselves, but to be honest, you probably will never use it again. I don't think. So I thought, well, let's just do something that's going to incorporate this, and you can kind of then use this whole website into your own CVs if you're going to make them. So you're unveiling this new icon. So there's going to be 2D design elements, okay, created by you. Banners, buttons, links, all that stuff, you've got to make that yourself, okay, all original. All right. So I've got, you may not use pre-existing graphics or templates, because I know we did this Dreamweaver stuff last time, and you used the template.
Did anyone find a Logitech mouse?
Yes, just it was here. There you go. Cool. No chance. See you, brother. Yeah. So last time there were some templates. I gave you that template. No templates. All right, you've got to go from scratch with this. So this is what you need. A home page, all right, with a banner or a heading or whatever. And basically it's going to be information relating to this icon. Your web page is unveiling this. All right. Icon page, now this is the actual icon, so concept images and all that kind of stuff. That's all going to be about that. So that's one page. 2D graphics page. So there's anything to do with typography. Maybe you've done a few variations of this icon, like the new Telstra one. I don't know if you've seen the new version of the Telstra logo. It's exactly the same, but it's in 6 colours. All right, that probably cost us millions too. So you have different versions of that. A flash animation page. Okay, so I'm linking everything in here. Now, what you'll do with that is you'll get your icon and you'll make a flash animation out of it. Now, this isn't a huge thing. This is like 5 minutes. As in, you've done your icon. At this point, your website's done. You've done your icon. You might just put it into Flash and do a simple 360 turnaround, or it flies in and then flies off. Which is a flash animation that you would probably have on a website as an ad or something like that. So it's not huge. So nothing, because that's why you're thinking, oh, it's gigantic. But these are all just like samplers, you know what I mean? Video assets page, so this is, again, your icon, now in some kind of video. It could just be, again, another simple snippet. It flies in and flies out, or it zooms in, or it appears in a puff of smoke. Stuff that you can do with Premiere really easily, So that's your video assets page. And an optional page is It's a page that's optional. Okay, you can put whatever you want in there. Maybe you're using your logo on a can of drink or whatever it's for. You know, you might actually show it within the product. That's that. So essentially, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages. So you're making a 6-page website. Okay, so that's the trick. So that's your technical specs. All right, this is the process here. All right, so planning. This is the big one. You're basically going to have to plan this. Now, there's 2 big planning stages. There's your icon. All right, so whenever I say icon now, I'm referring to that, the main stuff. There's your icon, and there's the website. So there's the 2 things that you're planning and the 2 things that you're creating. So first up, sketchbook. All right, you're going to be creating thumbnails to develop the ideas for the icon and the website. So everything is now done almost twice. Okay. Layout options now. That'll be layout options for your web page. So you're looking at that, and like I said here, remember that there's 2 key design elements here, and that's the 5th of August. That's like a couple of weeks.
Not this week. Sorry, not next week, the week after.
Yeah. Okay, now there's a reason why I've done that. The reason is...
But it's Monday of that next week, so technically we've only really got like 1 week.
And a bit, yeah. But don't worry, there's a reason why. The reason why is because you've done this before. You've done this 8, 9 times now, haven't you? You've done thumbnail sketch. You've got an idea. You've got thumbnail sketches. You've designed something. You've moved it forward. You know, you've designed layout. You've done this. The thing is, you haven't done the CSS stuff much. So this is quick, but I still want it done really well. So another reason I've done this is, like I said, I want to see this process done hopefully really, really well, and hopefully by doing something like an icon design. This is kind of standalone. Do you have to be anywhere? Can I take
No.
This is standalone. You know, you can use this. This design can be anything. It can be for something if you want to. You know, you can do it for mount plays, or you can do it for something else. What I would suggest is you don't get something you like and try and do a design for it. As in, I'm suggesting like Doctor Who. I wouldn't try and redo the Doctor Who icon, okay? Because what's going to happen is people are going to compare that straight away, and that's not it. So, if you can create something from scratch, create a new product. You know, if you want to do the Doctor Who icon for a Doctor Who fan club or something like that, you know, as a separate entity. If it's linked in with the actual product, then people are going to put those 2 together, and it's not going to work. So that's your main thing. So you want to design your icon, all right, and you want to be designing your website. So icon design here, all your iterations. Website design here with your 6 pages that you're going to design. Okay, and you'll be thinking about your flash animation, your video stuff. This isn't that bad. Trust me. I know it's sounding really. It's not.
Yeah, I'm just.
Yeah, processing. That's okay. All right, let's move across. The rest of this book is all for you. This is all references and resources, okay? So from this point on, all I'm doing right now is trying to fill your brains with stuff. Now what I've got here is Dribble. Okay, Dribble is awesome. I enjoy Dribble. Have you only checked this site out yet? Yeah. Really cool.
I haven't checked the site out. I tried to download the app, it doesn't work on our
Yeah, it
iPads.
crashed.
Oh, really?
It just
I
crashes.
had to go on my computer.
Oh, it works on mine. Weird. I'll show you in a second. Essentially, it just streams. So what it is, Dribble is...
Yeah, it crashed.
Weird. Dribble is a website where people post images that they're working on. The difference is they're not just random plebs. These are designers. These are graphic designers that are posting what they're working on, and then other graphic designers. It's just a community of graphic designers, and then other graphic designers are commenting on that. Some of the best icons that you will see have been on Dribble and have changed because someone said, "Hey, why don't you try this?" And they've changed it, and it's free. This is a free, source of information from professionals that are helping you out. So check that out, because you'll get a ridiculous amount of ideas. What I want you to do too is, in a week or so, when you've got a rough idea of your icon, you're going to post it on there. I'll set up an account just in case I'm not. It's free setup and stuff like that, but I'm not sure if you need some credentials. I doubt it. But I'll set one up as well, just in case. And I want you to put your idea up there and see what they say. You'll get smashed, because these are not school kids. These are graphic designers. So make sure you say that I'm doing a school project. Please don't, make me cry. But you'll get some really, really awesome responses. So that's Dribble. So check that out. All right. This next one here. This is just for me to try and inspire you. Did you read these?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is Dieter Rams. This guy designed at Braun. Okay, awesome product designer. So what I've done here is his 10 principles for good design. This guy, a lot of people have followed this guy. The guy that designs, again, don't quote me, but the guy that designs for Apple, he's looked at this guy for inspiration. And when you read his 10 rules, you'll see that that makes sense. So I'll go through this really quickly because I don't take too much of your time. So to be innovative, all right, so basically the possibilities of progression are not by any means exhausted. Basically what he's saying is you should always be innovative, you should always be trying new stuff. And that goes back to your icon design. You guys should be trying new stuff, not stuff that you did last SAC or the one before. Try new stuff. Ideas are never going to run out, okay? It makes a product useful. A product is bought to be used, okay? So and when he says product here, this can be work for your icon. Your icon needs to be useful. Okay, there needs to be a reason why you're doing it. There needs to be a reason why it's there. Makes a product understandable. It clarifies a product structure. All right, it basically can clearly express its function. So again, icons, and I'll show you when I show you my examples. Your icon, your design, your logo should express what you're talking about, and that's it. It's as simple as that. Okay, it's aesthetic. Aesthetic quality of the product is integral to its usefulness because products are being used every day and have an effect on people and their well-being. Only well-executed objects can be beautiful. It's got to look nice. It's got to look like, you know, there's a reason for it again. So he's really on the visuals, and when you see his stuff, it's really simple. Okay. Make a product better understandable so you can understand it. Unobtrusive. Products fulfill a purpose. Okay, they are like tools. This is really good. They are neither decorative objects or works of art. So your icon is an icon. It's not meant to be pretty, as in it's not meant to be a painting hung in a gallery. Okay, it's serving a purpose. It's an icon. It's there for you to open a program or to explain what you're going to say. Okay, so it's going to be unobtrusive. All right, leave room for user self-expression. So other people can then look at that and take what they want from it. All right, this is a good one too. It's honest. Okay, so it does not make a product appear more innovative, powerful, shiny than it actually is. If you design something, it should be what it does. So again, I'm going to refer to Apple stuff here because it's really good for that. Like when I look at this mouse, it's clearly showing me what it's going to do. It's going to move, it's going to scroll, it's going to have a button here, and that's it. There's nothing else in here that's saying it's going to do anything else that it's going to. Same with the iPad. All I see is a flat piece of glass. I know I'm going to turn that on, and all it's going to do is show me stuff. Okay, it's not trying to do things that it can't do. Like when you see cars that have huge grills on them, and you know it looks like they're meant to fly. You know, what's the point of that? Long-lasting. Okay, so it avoids being fashionable. This is really, really cool because if you design something that's fashionable, fashion changes. So your icon, you might design your icon that's fashionable. So we could say, I don't know, it's fashionable right now to have fluoro pinks and reds, but in a couple of years' time, that's not going to be fashionable anymore. Your icon's going to be out of date. Your logo's going to be out of date. You need to change it. So he's saying you need to avoid that. You need to avoid your products being fashionable. So again, I look at what he makes. This is from the 50s. You would buy that now. You know, especially now actually because yuppies love this stuff. It doesn't look like it's going to go out of date. It's dateless. So again, I look at the Mac as an example. I look at my Mac. Like I look at that. It's really simple. It's got 2 lines. Okay, it's grey. It's black. It's got a screen. That's not going to change. Like that's pretty simple to me. I could use this 10 years from now, and that would still look up to date. Okay. If you go back to I don't know if you guys saw the old iBooks that they used to make. There's like a clamshell. Again, I'll put the image on here so you can see it. It's a clam. This is like the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
It's colourful. They were fluoro-coloured. They were plastic, and they look like a clam. You bought one of those, you would look like a Pratt with one of those now. They're completely out of date.
And they had the computer ones the same.
The big ones with the back part and it had a handle.
My friend had one of
Yeah, they were, at the time, they were fashionable. You know, they were colours and they were plastic and they were cool. You will not use that now. Okay, this you would use again. Look at your iMac M, like that's really sleek, really, really thin. You've got your glass panel, you've got your metal back, like that's going to be, you're going to see that in 20 years now and it's still going to look good, you know. But did you see the old iMacs that had like, it was on a neck with that still looked pretty cool though. Okay, so that's what he's saying here. It needs to be fashionable, you can't throw it away. And last one, it's furrowed down to the last detail. Nothing must be arbitrary or left to chance. Basically what he's saying is everything is furrowed, everything is there for a reason. Okay, so that's just there for fun. There's a couple of other, environmentally friendly, that's probably not going to matter to you guys unless you're burning fossil fuels trying to make this. And then finally, after all of that, saying you how great it's going to be, oh, by the way, it has to be have as little design as possible. So you've done all this stuff, now make it as simple as possible. And that's the key. And again, I look at what he's got here. These are some of his designs. That's a bin. When you look at that, you go, yep, I'm just going to throw stuff in there. Like, it's not saying it's anything else other than a bin. His calculator is probably quite iconic. They've probably seen that a lot. If you use the calculator on your iPhones, it's a rip-off of that. Okay, the round buttons, there's like the one bit of colour down there and the green at the top there. This is, everything you see is what it does. There's no hiding. This calculator is going to simply calculate. That's it. Okay, his radios, you know, they're going to do that again. I would buy that again. That's fine. I would have that radio in my house. I think it looks fine. But the washing machine, maybe not. Okay, but this is how we design stuff. So that's him. All right, icon design in 5 steps. So this is just from Raw Motion. A lot of these images I'm using are from Raw Motion. These guys, and they gave me permission to, which is cool. These guys are icon designers. That's their only job, is to make icons. They don't make logos. They don't make IP. They just do an icon. All right, and apps are where they're at too. Icons for apps. So this is their process. So I won't go through it now, but if you have a read through this, it says how they've done stuff, why they've gone through this process. Okay, so
the video is insane.
Isn't it really good?
It's crazy.
You can't tell anyone about that because that's from Apple. So they've got their sketches, obviously. Now this at this point they would have done all that previous stuff, all the thumbnails, da 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 da. They've got to this point. This is what we want. Okay, they bring it into Photoshop and they make it really plain. Okay, here's our colours. They do it in Photoshop. They've got their shapes. Now here, at this stage, they work in other references, and what they've got here is they exaggerate the effects so the user can recognise what we want to say. So this is another good thing about an icon. It's really small. It can't be too detailed, so you've got to exaggerate what you're trying to say so people see it. So if you look at the paper with the magnifying glass, what are you thinking right now? Search. Search? Yep, that's it. If you look at this thing with the zipper on it, what are you thinking?
I looked at that one.
Compress maybe, zip, or something like that?
Well, when I just thought of like zip files and like, you know, the uncompressed, I think.
Yeah, exactly. The bin, I mean, obviously you're thinking of the trash, the hat. The other guys got this in one shot, they didn't think they would.
I have no idea.
Safari. They're very Mac-centric, so they're thinking Safari. Okay, so they're exaggerating those ideas, so you can really look at it and you can go, hey, I know what that means. So there's no way that that magnifying glass is going to be that big. In reality, it's not. Okay, then they add a bit more detail now, so now they've actually got a zip there, so you know, oh, it is a zipper. Okay, they've added some line of text, you know, they've done that, so they're making them again a little bit more detailed. And then they've got their final approve. So here's their logo. So now what they've done, again, if you look at the magnifying glass, they've got text in there now. They've got an image in there, okay? So they've added detail, but if we go back to what Dita Rams was saying, they haven't added too much. You know, they've made it look nice, but they haven't added any more detail than is needed. This is all that's needed. You know, here's a picture, here's text, so we're going to search for pictures and text. They could have put a whole bunch of crap there, but it wouldn't have worked. All right, and then here's them working at different sizes, okay? So you can check this stuff out later. All right, let's go out of that. Last bit is, this is Dribble, okay? So really focusing on this. So, you know, this is stuff from Dribble here. Really, really detailed stuff. This is from Raw Motion as well. Like, they're insanely good drawers. I don't know how they do that. It's crazy good. Another thing you can do with Dribble, really good on the PC, is you can search for colour, which is awesome. You know, you can look at greens, you can search for purples, you can search for pinks, and it shows you images that have those colour schemes. So again, you can help you visualise where you're going to go for this. So I would be using that a lot, and that's just obviously about the app. Last one. Okay, so this is stuff I like. Okay, now this is stuff that I've looked at on Dribble, and especially Raw Motion stuff, and I'm going, this is really good stuff. So I'm going to show you it really quickly. Okay, so actually, we'll go forward. That's their icon. So this is the icon they've designed.
For what?
What do you think it's for?
Instagram.
Or an Instagram kind of thing. And did you get that from the 4 colours there?
Yeah, the photo, like
Yep.
the actual thing.
So again, you know this. You're getting these visual cues. Okay, it's a camera. It's obviously got something coming out, so it's an instant thing. There's letters and text, so it's obviously going to have something to do with letters and text. That's the icon they chose. All right, but this is where they started.
Because you can like, it just looks so much like Instagram. With all
Yeah.
this.
And you can see their evolution here. This is why this is really cool. All right, you can see at one stage they had a cake. You know what I mean? They've got a camera opening up with letters coming out. So clearly there's something about creating stuff. Like they've got a typewriter, so it is really something about making words. They've got their flower there. You know, there's that original, look, there's that final kind of getting there. Okay. But this is what I want. This is what I've been pushing for the past 2 years. Okay? Is this kind of thing where, you know, they have an idea, but they've explored it in so many different ways. You know, a lot of what we've been seeing the past couple of years is, you know, you guys will do some designs and you'll do 5 or 6 things and they'll all be different, and then you'll go, I like that one, and then you're done. Whereas these guys, and the process, is they've gone, well, here are all ideas, here they are, you know, I like this, I like this, I like that. And then you can see how they've used all of those details that they've tried here. There's their daisy. There's this part of the camera. There's the bit coming out. There's the Instagram lines, and they've explored that to create that. So one idea, many different options there. All right, and you can see it in detail there. They're really, really well done. I'm not expecting you to draw like this, but I'm hoping I really, 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 really want you to think like this. That's what I want you to be thinking about. If you could do that, if you gave me that, you're done. Like, that's it. You're competent. You're more than competent. I would hire a person that could do that. And I used to. So I would hire that person if they could come up with this range of ideas. If I said, we need a camera, we need an icon for some camera thing, let's do this. And they can process this. It's really, really good. Okay, so, and then as we go through, we can see some other stuff. Now, obviously, this is less detailed. So this was a lot, the brief here was a lot simpler. But even here, you can see that, you can see that they've got an idea up here, which was a notepad and pen. Okay, and they've clearly gone to a more of a digital format here. So this will represent what they're talking about as well. They would have looked at that and gone, hey, cool, that notepad and pen is fine. But our app isn't a handwriting app. Like, I look at that and it's taking notes. It doesn't relate back to this product. So that's important. This is in the video. Did you watch the video as well, Em? Have you seen it? Yeah. So that's amazing, that process that they went through. It's really, really cool. There's their final icon, okay? You'll see that in the video as well. Clear, this stuff, you know what this is about. You're getting something, it's to do something, it's in there. So just a lot of just really kind of cool stuff. Like that's another, yeah. This got rejected. Again, this is on Dribble, so you can look this stuff up. And he tells the process on why it got rejected. They didn't like it. But it's really good. It's a cloud and it's a bill, so it's something about paying in the cloud. It'll be web-based. Everyone knows cloud, and you can see it's a paper. The only thing you could do is, if you didn't have that text there, I don't think it would work as well. Having that text works. So maybe to make it look to work without the text, he would have put a dollar sign or has it look like an old check, because that's another thing you want to think about. How would that work without text? How would that work in Japan, if they didn't have the text there? That's quite detailed, but again, quite simple. It's just an outline, so that works really, really well. And just some ideas. So you will obviously find your own stuff, but this is just stuff that piqued my interest. Look, here's a good one. Okay, so here's their designs for this keyboard app. They've gone with the simplest one because that's what works. That works the best compared to this one with the book. They all look at the detail there. That would have taken them days to do that. And then they come and that's all they've got. Like, you could make that in 2 minutes. But here's the hours of work to kind of go, actually, that doesn't work, or that doesn't work, or that doesn't work. And that's the process. There's some really, really good stuff here. Another thing, are you noticing anything else here with everything you're seeing with these icons? Oh, yeah, but what else? What else are you seeing? I'm seeing it, but...
Squares.
Yes. Have you noticed that everything here is a square? Okay. Now, yes, it's because we're talking about icons, and they're always square. Ever since we got our iOS stuff, which is square, from there on in, everything's square. What have you got, Em?
Mine are all square.
You going to prove me wrong?
Yes, I am.
Are they
Yeah, and what about like VLC and stuff?
No, it's a square.
It's a triangle. Isn't
But
it?
you could put that perfectly in a square, couldn't you?
Yeah, but...
Give me a look. Prove me wrong. They're square. Okay. So what you've got is, if you take that, if you take those icons and you put them in a square box, they'll fit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're not looking at like the forward logo, where if you put that in, you'd be missing half. Like, it would be in a square, obviously, but the top and bottom, there's nothing there. So these fit nicely in that real estate, that touch tap square real estate. And even icons that you're looking at now, even new icons or even logos, a lot of them are doing that. Most of them now are doing this square format because they're no longer designing a logo that's going to sit on the front of their car. They're designing a logo that's going to work as an app, it's going to work as an icon, it's going to work on a letterhead. So that's this square shape. So that's something you want to concentrate on too. Basically, if you can do this in a box and it can fill up some space, and I'll show you an awesome example. Like, there's a perfect example there. Obviously this ad is going to be about cooking and it's going to be about a chef. And it's kind of funny, but you can see it's a chef. It looks like a chef. It's got a mustache. It's cool. There's a lot of this kind of stuff, and this is the stuff they're thinking. That's a perfect example where they've actually gone, you know what, we're going to change our object to fit into a square. They've actually changed the object and gone, now it's a square. And that works so well for that, It's really, really cool. This is one where, again, we're going back to Rams with that detail and taking detail away. That's the icon for a code book. That looks cool, but it looks freaky. It's a brain playing it. Yeah. Okay. That's way too detailed. Okay. They've gone with that, which is perfect. All right, it's a code that looks like a code-breaking device, and it's about codes. That's perfect. They look cool, and if you look in the background, they've done like a whole bunch of these. So they were really pushing for this. At one stage, someone's gone, nah, it's freaky. Like it reminds me of the Ninja Turtles. You know, it's freaky. It's really gross. How would that look when you shrunk it down, and it'd be a mess? So they've gone something simple. So you need to be thinking about this stuff. And that was just because I thought you need to be positive. All right, and then we've got this video here, this case study. So you watch it, yeah. So watch that, and he explains everything perfectly. You know, the reasons why they did stuff, the reasons why they changed their, like even the icon where it. Can I fast forward? I don't think I can fast forward. You know that you've got all their. Keep going. So this kind of stuff, like you can see all the approaches. I'll just turn that down. All the approaches that they've done with the hand. Like the first thing Liam said when we saw that original logo was, why hasn't it got a turn handle thing on it? Like why doesn't it have the arm from the record player? And I'm like, because I know that's a record player. That to me, that original icon, I saw straight away it's a record player. But he's used to seeing a record player like this, and I'm like, well, yeah, it's that extra detail you don't need. Because that arm, yeah, okay, it's a record player, but take it away, you still know it's a record player, don't you? So then don't have that detail.
Hand, it's just a record.
Yeah. So all of these things are, what are they taking away that we don't need? You know, clearly the goal here is the record. Do we need a crowd? Do we need people? Do we need fingerprints? Take it away, take it away, take it away, take it away. But they've done so much to get there, you know. And then they got to that eventually, and there's their T, and they were trying to work that in. They got to that. That works really well. That's cool. That's perfect.
I was so shocked when I said that.
Well,
Because I just didn't see that coming.
Yeah, but you did. You should have seen it coming though. If you go back, you can see. All right, the record at the center is clearly it. They want to say I'm playing. Like the arm, the hand is all saying play, 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 play. That's what it's doing. But it's too detailed. So how do we say play? We put a triangle in the center and say play, and then they show this iteration where it's super detailed. And like you said, it is ridiculously detailed, but it works when you see it in all those sizes. And what they've done really well too is that I've got this icon at like a 3000 by 3000 resolution. It's crazy, okay? I can see the individual bit of paper on that plus little play button on my computer. So this is where we've got stacks of detail. I can see those little scratches in the record, okay? And I'm going to send you guys this image so you can see it at super huge resolution. I can see the scratches in this image because I've got my retina screen is super detailed. But you're watching this image on an iPad 1, so you don't see that. But the thing is, it still works. I can see that super detail on mine. Same icon on yours. It just looks like it's a bit of yellow. So it still works, okay? So that's a really, really good case study. And that whole, I showed the guys before, like here's the program. So there's the app. All right, this is my commitment. I downloaded the app so I could show you this. All right, and this is basically how it works. You have to hear the audio on this because it's ridiculous. So when I first played this, Liam's like, it doesn't work. You didn't hear it then. You're actually hearing them opening the case. All right, so this is taking the idea of design and form and function and going insane. Now, have either of you used a record player before?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's just really cool. So here's your record player. First, you need to choose your record. That's the only thing I can't physically do. So I'm gonna pick my record up here. All right, I'm gonna pick this one here. All right. They pull it. They hear the click. They pull it out. They drop it. Did you see the animation there where it drops? All right, and now it's playing. Now, this is where they've done some crazy design stuff. Okay, and it fulfills a purpose, and that purpose it makes you feel warm and fuzzy. All right, and that's the only reason. So, for instance, I can move the arm. All right, that's fine. But not only that, the arm picks up and then drops. All right, this is cool. That's doing absolutely nothing. All it's doing is turning on a light. But that doesn't make sense, obviously, because it's an animation. But to me, I'm like, that's cool. I remember doing that on my mum's record player. All right, turning on a light. You can do stuff like this, like, all right, it scratches. I mean, that's really dumb. You can speed up the tempo. Okay, and then bring it back to normal. Okay, you can do, and there's a reason why I'm talking about this. You can make it a 45, which means you can go faster. You can drop it down. You can do this kind of stuff. If you turn it off, it slows down. Now that makes no sense. Like technically, it's an MP3 file. I stop, it stops. Okay, but what it's doing is it's slowing down. It's just like a real record. It's slowing it down. So you can see all all this design that they've got going on here. Like they're doing all this kind of stuff to make you really feel that this product is authentic. And all this does, this whole app, that's all it does. It plays a song on an MP3 file like a record. That's it. There's no other use to it. Okay. There's no reason why. Yeah. All right. I'll turn it back on again. Press play, and it's got to speed back up again. All right. It's that feeling, that touchy feely. It's amazing. All right. So this is just, again, I think this is a really good example of a well-designed product. Okay. They're thinking about that. They're not just thinking about how it works. We go back to the other stuff. They're thinking about the aesthetics. How does it feel? You know, when you press play, is it a genuine experience? Again, like this is what I love. This, like, I really love this app for the fact of just how well it's made. If I go in here, I'm going to pick another record because you missed this before. Record comes out, drops in, flicks in, and it goes. And like this one hasn't got the cover art, for instance, but they thought, oh, we'll put some words in there, so you still get that spinning effect. You know, it's uberly well designed. Really, really cool. Sometimes there are some things here that I don't like. For instance, this dial up here and this little arm. The first thing I tried to do was flick that and move that because everything is so clean. I'm like, oh, that doesn't work. So that's kind of going, oh, maybe they should have taken that away, but they could be being authentic to a record player. The first thing I did try to do, actually like an idiot, is I tried to pinch that and lift that up. I actually did this, actually went like that. Oh, wait, it's a flat screen. Okay, so that's kind of design. So anyway, you get that. Turn that off. All right. So that is what you're working on. That's what you need to get sorted. Any questions? No way. But it's not.
Yeah, but it is.
It's not. I've made it sound like a lot, but it's not. Really, this is what you're doing. Okay, this is what you're doing. You're thinking of an idea, and you're designing an icon. All right, an icon or a logo. I like icons. I think icons are awesome. I really, really like them. You know, they're really simple. They're cute. They really show what we're doing. And I think the way we're moving to, like, this is kind of where we're going now. Icons, app icons, that kind of stuff. I think they're awesome. So I'd love that, but it's up to you. So yeah, you're thinking of this idea. You're designing this icon. Then that's your first 2 weeks. Okay, so we're breaking it up essentially. First week, designing your icon. That's all you got. So don't spend any more time than that in your thought process. If you know, I'm giving you a week to do this design for an icon.
Also, it's just the icon. It's not. You don't have to do the designs for the website.
That's your second week. Okay. So you've got to do your icon. You've then got to do your website design. Okay. That's all by 5th of August. So that's okay. All right. That's doable.
Wait, hold on. So the sketchbook that's due on the 5th of August is both icon and website.
Yeah. Icon and website. Look, the website one's going to be easy because you're going to spend the time on this icon. You're going to love it. Okay. And once you've got your icon, that's going to kind of tell you what your website's going to be, isn't it? You're going to then design everything around that. You know, you've only got 5 pages that you're doing in a homepage. It could be really simple. I would also suggest going to Realm Motion's website. They're a good website. They design icons. Go to their website and see how they've laid their website out. You won't be a surprise how they've done it. It's really, really nice. That's your first 2 weeks. Then from there, we do web and CSS. Okay. So that will be involved. We'll have a bit of time there to get your icon and put it into Flash. You know, get your icon and make it into Photoshop and all that kind of stuff and do that. All right. So again, the Flash, the photo, the video files, all that kind of stuff, they're not huge parts of it. It's just a bit of filler. So you can put it on this page. What I would love, like I said it to the guys before, I said it to you just before as well, is with your icon design, you know, if I get that, like I said, you're done. That's brilliant. Okay, if you can kind of get this idea and really work with it, and you saw some really simple stuff too. I mean, that's still quite a detailed icon, but they're term play stuff, they're record stuff. That came back and it was simple and it was clean and it was really developed. If you can give me that, like, I would be happy. And this is why I brought this back, because it comes back to that competency stuff. And if I think you're really competent, like I'd hire those guys. They wouldn't hire me, but these guys are really good. Go to their site, go to Dribble, check it out. So yeah, first week, focus on your icon. This is the good thing with this icon is you can do it at home, sit on napkins, bits of paper. You can do it. You can scribble around. You know, don't think too much about it. Hopefully, you've got an idea blossoming now, and you can work on that. Okay, and just scribble at home and get that sorted and get your icon pumped out. So don't stress with your icon, just do it here and there and you'll get it. Trust me, I reckon you'll have it done by the weekend. You'll just think of something and it'll click and you'll do it. Then work on your website. So go back to this and see what you have to do. It's essentially those 5 pages in that structure. You know, how you're going to structure this. Again, I think it'll dictate your icon will dictate how that looks. And then we'll get into that. Now, obviously, when we get into that, how much time we got? I've taken up your whole lunch, sorry. When we get into that, we'll be focusing heavily on CSS and Dreamweaver because you know Photoshop, you know Flash, you know all those things. I'm not going to even touch those. And because they're quite a small chunk of this, we'll be focusing on that. So don't think about that for 2 weeks because you don't need to worry about it.